Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, live from Charleston, West Virginia. It's the 2023 Men's NORCECA Continental Volleyball Championship. My name's Rob St. Clair, live on Volleyball Source for this Group A match between Mexico and the Dominican Republic. The winner takes second in the pool, the loser takes third. Both teams will move on to the quarterfinals tomorrow regardless, but important positioning on the line as we meet the Mexican starting lineup first. In black on the far side of your screen, we have the legendary Pedro Rangel at the setter position, Luis Baca at opposite, Josue Lopez and Yasutaka Sanai at outside hitters, Victor Parra and Brandon Lopez in the middles. And let's see, which libero will it be? Looks like it'll be Hiram Bravo, number 3 in red for Mexico. And on the near side, in the red and blue fade, the Dominican Republic with Captain Henry Tapia, number 1, getting started opposite. Francisco Arredondo will be the starting setter. Henry Lopez and Hector Cruz, the outside hitters. Luther Rosario, Moises Ortiz, the middle blockers. And Enger Mieses will be the starting libero. Mexico kicked off their tournament yesterday with a 3-set loss to Canada, who's already won Group A, looking very good doing so. Dominican Republic had the day off yesterday, started their tournament on Tuesday also with a 3-set loss to Canada. So both these teams searching for their first match win as well as their first set win in this NORCECA Championship tournament. However, in both of these teams losing efforts to Canada, who looks very, very good, we were more so impressed with Mexico than we were with the Dominican Republic. We were expecting more from the Dominicans on Tuesday, and we thought Mexico had a decent showing yesterday despite the result. So interested to see what these two teams can bring to wrap up play in Group A here on Thursday. Just about ready to go here. Yasutaka Sanai, the Mexican outside hitter, gets us underway on the far side of your screen. And an immediate hitting error. Henry Tapia, legendary Dominican captain, number 1 in red, makes the attacking error on the left side. Dominican Republic once again starting in rotation 1 receive, which could be their worst rotation, and already giving up a hitting error as I'm joined by my colleague Everett DeLorme. Everett, hey buddy.
How's it going? I just spilled coffee all over myself.
Oh, excellent. Excellent work. Very, very impressive stuff there.
If anyone who actually knows me is listening to this, they won't be surprised.
Right in character.
Right up my alley.
So Dominican is on the board. Hector Cruz gets the started outside hitter, number 19 in red, serving here. Perfect pass. Lopez with a good high swing is kept alive. Very tight play, and now Rangel, the setter, will tap it down on the third touch.
Purposely putting it off of, is it Cruz over there? No, and sorry,
Henry Lopez is the other outside hitter for the Dominican Republic. Now Victor Parra, the middle blocker for Mexico, number 5 in black.
Nice little serve there.
Seen some success with teams serving short this tournament, but handled nicely there by the Dominican Republic. And Henry Lopez on the left side gets the first ball side out.
This is now 3 teams in the tournament who have an outside named Lopez. Mexico, Dominican Republic, and Cuba. Battle of the Lopezes.
Pretty common surname around the NORCECA region. And that ball is float served out of bounds by young middle blocker Moises Ortiz.
We've seen Ortiz cause people some troubles.
Yeah,
that floater yesterday.
Float serve against Canada on Tuesday actually was kind of good, and not so much that time. Ooh, nice high swing there by Tapia. I thought that might be able to be brought back in position 6 with too much heat on it.
Let's see if Henry Tapia can bounce back. What was that from just an un-Tapia-like performance against Canada on Tuesday?
This man can and has been a scoring machine, but on Tuesday just nowhere to be found.
Another good serve by Tapia, but nicely handled by Mexico.
Oh, wow. What a block out of absolutely nowhere. Luther Rosario closes the door on Josue Lopez. Or no, sorry, that's Luis Baca, the opposite on the left there. Did not see Rosario coming.
I didn't see Rosario
either.
I looked up and saw Baca, and I was like, oh, this is money. And Rosario came out of nowhere. Beautiful block by the Dominican Republic.
Excellent pass there by Hiram Bravo, the libero last time. There he is again. One-handed feed from Rangel, and that'll be a back row attack violation. Couldn't keep that ball on his side.
Tough one there for Mexico.
Good serving from Tapia, already more productive in that area than he was on Tuesday.
Okay. Good force there, but just not enough. And I will say I am really liking these Dominican jerseys.
Me too. Me too. The gradient is cool. Here is Josue Lopez, a longtime starter for Mexico. Even only at age 21, he was probably their second best offensive player at the World Championship last year.
What a dig.
Classic Mexican volleyball right there. Lopez sends it over. Not very well handled by Tapia. Now Henry Lopez, the Dominican Republic, with a shot. First swing for Luis Baca is kept alive nicely. Cruz out of the back row, off the block and out of bounds. Good volleyball there from both teams. Already a lot more life from the Dominican side.
Absolutely. I was just about to say I'm really liking what I'm seeing early on here from the Dominican, and I think having that day off yesterday did them some well.
Yeah, just not a good showing at all from the Dominican side on Tuesday against Canada. Already looking better, especially on offense. Pretty good service pressure there from Henry Lopez. Gets the ball back, and Lopez out of the back row.
Hey, let's go.
I love that set choice from Francisco Arredondo. Reward the man that got you that ball back from his serve by giving him a chance to rip the big ball. So Henry Lopez created that entire last point basically all by himself. Let's see what he can do this time serving. Ooh, a cut, chop short, very nicely done. But Baca's able to take a swing at it. Mieses, the Dominican libero, with an out-of-system set, and it's a good one. Hector Cruz, the other Dominican outside hitter, number 19 in red and blue, gets the kill this time. It's 8-4. Excellent start for the Dominican Republic. And so much so is that start that Mexico needs to call timeout. Dominican looking alive here on Thursday afternoon in group play. Been pretty good from the service line so far. And have seen a little bit of offense as well. Best 3 out of 5 set match to decide who takes second in Group A. Seven-team tournament this week at the NORCECA Championship. Canada has already won this group, Group A, by defeating both of these two teams. The winner of this match will take second in Group A and will take on Puerto Rico, who we just saw finish third in Group B. That will be a quarterfinal match tomorrow. Other quarterfinal will feature the loser of this match against the loser of the United States and Cuba, which will be coming up next later this evening at 7:30.
So a win is definitely important here, right?
Very.
A win makes your path to the semifinals much easier.
You do not want to play Cuba or the United States in the first round.
Absolutely not.
Perfect pass there by Josue Lopez, and Sanai off the head of the blocker. That's able to be brought back. And not a bad shot by Cruz trying to recycle it off the block, but he had a long way to run after coming there from the scorer's table.
I'm questioning Arredondo's decision to jump set there, right? Because in general, you want to jump set mostly to speed up the offense. In that set situation, he wanted to slow it down.
Give Cruz more time to get back out of the swing, or just flick it back to Tapia, who had the full runway. But Mexico does get out of that rotation. There's Rosario in the middle with a good turn across his body.
Loving the answer here from Dominican Republic. It's quick and it's swift.
Luther Rosario Only 20 years of age, 6'7" middle blocker for the Dominican Republic, number 15 in red. Nice quick ball from Pedro Rangel and Yasutaka Sanai, number 18 in black. 22 years of age, 1'86", undersized, but really dynamic outside hitter for Mexico.
Okay.
Got some feedback from Ronnie Cuban Spike there in the chat that this same Dominican Republic squad beat Mexico in that tournament in El Salvador. That was like the Central American Caribbean Games, some kind, back in July. So these two teams have seen each other. They know each other pretty well. Here is Arredondo, the setter. Nice block there by Cruz. Along with Ortiz closing it in the middle to shut down Baca.
You know what? In the early goings here, I'm not all that surprised. Like, Dominican Republic has looked really good, and I wish we would have seen this version of them against Canada.
Me too. Nice find there by Rangel de Parra in the middle.
And now someone from Mexico needs to step up. And my gut tells me Lopez, but at this point it needs to be anyone. They need a play. They need someone to make a big play.
They just need kind of a go-to arm, and I would think that might be Baca on the opposite spot.
But we really haven't seen him yet that much today as Cruz goes wide with that one.
A little too much wrist-away sauce that time from Cruz. Rotation one receive here for the Dominican Republic has been a problem for them, an opportunity for Mexico to get back in this.
Wow. There we go. That is vintage Henry Tapia. That was absolutely beautiful. He climbs the ladder and slams that one down.
That's what we've been waiting to see.
That's why he's been one of the most prolific scorers in NORCECA history.
That is what we've been waiting to see from the Dominican captain right there. Good adjustment by Sanai off the tape. Baca out of the back row, pounded down the line, and Mieses, the Dominican libero, cannot handle it.
It'll be interesting to see now if Baca can step up and start really scoring for this Mexican team.
Perfect pass there by Mieses for the Dominican Republic, and a find to Ortiz in the middle. A young kid, 19 years of age, 2'4", the tallest player on the Dominican roster by far. And he gets over the block that time, 13-9. Good week for Dominican volleyball, Everett, with their women winning the NORCECA Women's Championship in Quebec City on Sunday. Pretty good block there, covered. High ball swing for Josue Lopez against three blockers. Diving Cruz makes the play, but there's no pipe attacker there. Rangel dumped over, but Arredondo is underneath it. Now Tapia against three blockers.
Good
down the line and dug by Bravo. Baca against no blockers. That ball did not hit the floor. Ortiz actually takes a slap at it. Now Lopez finally ends the rally. Josue Lopez, number 6 for Mexico.
That was the scrappy type of volleyball that I'm expecting from both of these teams. And if that point is any indication, I think we're in for a bit of a long afternoon in this one of fun volleyball.
We have had 7 matches in this tournament so far. We have had 7 3-0s. Could this finally be the one to break the streak?
Oh, good
Pretty
dig.
good dig there against Rosario in the middle. Lopez with a chance in transition off the block and cover. Joust won by Rosario, and that ball is down. The middles of the Dominican Republic having an impact so far.
That was Rosario that time, who's been really good so far, but was really impressed by Ortiz in the last one. Like, he's clearly very new to this game. He's only 19 years of age, but he's big. Sitting out there at 204 centimeters, which there's no way he's that. There's no way he's only 6'8".
Yeah, he looks bigger than that.
Yeah.
Wow, what a diving pass by Bravo. High rip there by Bacas, kept alive. Good defensive positioning. Now Tapia to make him pay. What a chest dig. Unbelievable. Sanai slowed down. Henry Lopez. That ball may have been going out of bounds. Played though.
What a set by
Josue Lopez on the
Rangel.
right side.
Oh,
That chest dig by Hiram Bravo was absolutely gorgeous.
that was classic Mexican volleyball there. Classic.
That
Love
was
that. And
sick. Just like, I mean, you said it the other day, Everett. Like, why bother if a ball's coming right at your chest with heat? Don't throw your arms at it.
just
seriously, just stick out your chest and it'll pop straight up.
That was perfect.
That was awesome. Cruz is underneath that short serve. That ball is touched by the block. Still alive. Very tricky play for Henry Lopez. Sanai rolled over the block. Lopez is there. Cruz out of the back row. A lot of off speed from both teams. Who's going to take a swing? Baca will. Deep cross court and heavy, and Mexico's within 2.
This is some really good volleyball right now, Rob.
I'm happily surprised by both teams.
Absolutely love it. And it's good competition, and they're going back and forth. There's not many errors happening. This is when volleyball is really at its best.
Timeout Dominican Republic. Mexico taking back some momentum after a couple long rally wins.
Yeah, I honestly think this may be the first potential to go 5. Did I call it?
No, I think we actually both called this one 3-0. You called Suriname Puerto Rico to go 5, which did not happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're right. I did call that.
But, I mean, after the showing that we saw from the Dominican Republic on Tuesday, it was difficult to feel confident in them coming into this match. Already, I like what I'm seeing a lot better.
Absolutely. Especially from Cruz on the outside. I think he's been really good. And Tapia's starting to come alive as well, and Rosario has also had a great showing in the middle. Already 2 blocks for the Dominican Republic to Mexico's 1. Neither team has any aces.
Let's see if Josue Lopez can get one right here out of the timeout.
Took a little off of it.
What a scoop by Bravo
dig.
again. Lopez takes a swing. Another transition chance. Cruz out of the back row. Another scoop by Bravo. But right on the net for Rosario. But I mean, come on, Hiram Bravo. The defense by the Mexican libero, number 3 in red on the far side.
So far, Dominican's offense has been very, very good. They're getting good, clean looks everywhere. Mexico's been fantastic on defense, especially Bravo. But
so much better for Dominican Republic than we saw on Tuesday offensively.
Good serve.
Nice find in the middle. That is Brandon Lopez. Yet another Lopez on one of these two teams. Number 11 in black in the middle for Mexico.
It's the first kill there for Lopez, and want to see Rangel really involve his middles a little bit more. Both Lopez and Parra have the ability to score some points.
And he can find them from some pretty creative places. Got young middles on the Dominican side trying to make him work laterally. Good dig there by Josue Lopez. But not a hittable opportunity. Wow, that is a hittable opportunity. What a blast by Hector Cruz.
Hector Cruz is really impressing me right now. That was a high-level swing at only 187 inches, or 187 centimeters. Sorry, he's shorter than I am.
6'2".
That's crazy, and he is ripping on that ball. But you're seeing already Mexico picking up on Tapia's preferred shot down the line, and they're having that 6-back in Josue Lopez move over, so they have 2 defenders down the line, and with Bravo and Lopez, there's not a lot of room for Tapia to score.
Serving substitution here, Bismael Almonte, the lefty, number 12 in red for Dominican Republic. Handled pretty nicely, but that ball hit out of bounds by Baca, looking for a touch, and is not gonna get it.
This is definitely a defensive sub. I've talked about it before in the pregame show. Almonte to me has always been a libero, and last year I thought he was low-key one of the best liberos at the Pan Am Cup, so I'm so surprised to see him wearing the same colored jersey. He made some dynamic saves last year.
Oh, apparently he's got a pretty good left arm on him as well. Pipe combination play to Lopez. There's the defense. And a center line violation by Mexico. Josue Lopez followed through after his pipe runway and landed going over the center line. So that defensive play there by Almonte turned into a point directly because it kept the ball in the air long enough for the violation to be called.
Not sure what's up there, but head coach Jose Gutierrez was clearly not happy with something Almonte did, even though they did win the point. And technically, Almonte made the dig, so not entirely sure. Maybe it was his serve that didn't go to the right spot.
Timeout, Mexico now trailing by 5. Dominican Republic, well, both of these teams actually looking for their first set win of the tournament. Somebody in the chat says Argentina le ganó a Brazil. They're talking about the South American Championship, which we talked about the other day, a huge win for Argentina. But now all the focus on the North American zone.
Another good serve there by Almonte.
Parra in the middle is dug nicely by Lopez. That is back over to Mexico. Where does Rangel go now? Baca slowed down, covered. Ooh, that ball didn't come out super nicely. Arredondo
Wow.
to Cruz.
Can he
That
pick it up,
ball
though?
has too much pace over the scorer's table. Dominican Republic's run continues.
Cruz is...
He is popping the ball right now.
Yeah, he is very efficient so far. Very, very efficient. Let's check his stats right now, Rob. Okay, maybe not as much as I thought. He's 3 for 8 currently, although that may be 4 for 9 as the stats catch up with us. Nope, 3 for 8 it is. Oh, never mind. The stats have caught up. That is 4 for 9.
Almonte has done a really good job serving off the bench, of course, right until then.
I was just about to say it, and then I held back because I didn't want to curse him, and then you jumped right in.
I mean, that ball was in the bottom of the tape. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, but you jinxed him. You sent the bad juju over.
Good run up until that point.
We're so close to them.
It was a good run up until that point.
19-14 here for the Dominican Republic, and they have really come out strong here in this first set.
Wow. Nice run.
You know what? You have to give a lot of that credit to the setter Arredondo there, because Ortiz, his swing is rudimentary, let's say. He's
developing.
Up, and then he's coming down. And so Arredondo has to really put that right in the perfect window for Ortiz to slam the hammer down on it.
Substitution for Mexico, by the way. Miguel Chavez, number 16, new middle blocker. That ball somehow through the Dominican block and a kill for Baca.
Baca has been suspiciously quiet here in this first set. That's only his 3rd or 4th point. Mexico needs to see him pick it up and catch on fire a little bit. Maybe this is a time for Rangel to really feed him some.
Sanai misses that serve out of bounds. Dominican Republic's lead is 6. And another substitution here for Mexico. Jorge Hernandez, number 2 in black, only 20 years of age, 1.97 m, and an outside hitter for Sanai. Cruz going after it from the service line that time. Why not, with the lead that the Dominican Republic has? And now our first look at Chavez from the service line. High ball out there to Henry Lopez. That ball was almost kept alive. Couldn't quite be sent back over. And another pretty good looking swing by the Dominican Republic on the left side.
Honestly, you can't convince me that this is the same Arredondo that we saw on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Did they bring in his brother? You know, what happened here? Because I thought he was truly average on Tuesday, and he's looked dynamic tonight.
Setting a transformationally different game. 2 substitutions for the Dominican Republic, bringing in an additional serving sub, number 11, J.J. Hernandez, 28 years of age, backup setter, in to serve for Ortiz. Nice block by Tapia, but the coverage is there. That ball is touched on its way out of bounds. A kill for Baca off the backup setter. We didn't see this substitution. Edgar Mendoza, number 8 for Mexico, is in running the offense.
And it was just a straight up swap too, not a double sub. So Azair clearly not happy with Rangel's setting right now.
We did see Mexico yesterday against Canada use a ton of substitutions.
They're
doing
yes.
the same thing right here. Perfect. First ball side out by the Dominican Republic again, Henry Lopez.
They have been so efficient in that first ball side out so far in this first set, Rob. It's been truly impressive to watch.
14 for 30.
Dude, look at the back on Tapia.
Tapia is a built dude.
He's a unit.
Nice.
Oh, there we go.
There, Brandon Lopez in the middle. That we could like to see a little bit more of that from Mexico.
This is the time now because it's pretty much in the bag for Dominican Republic in this first set. This is a really good time for Mexico to build some momentum. It needs some grease in the cogs, and this is a good time to create it and put it in.
Josue Lopez unleashes a serve there that's handled pretty well. Another chest dig. Man, Mexico must teach that. And it turns into a point. Baca on the right side.
There we go. It's these types of little plays where you make a big dig, get a conversion, steal a point. Even though in the grand scheme of things, Dominican Republic's still going to probably win this set, that builds that confidence for Mexico heading into the next one.
That was Mendoza, the backup setter, with the chest dig that time. Timeout Dominican Republic.
And there's no doubt to me that they train that.
They have to.
That's definitely a learned play.
We've seen it too many times.
Too many times now. In only 2 matches, it's been 5 or 6 times.
Which it's insane.
But I
love it. Yeah, it's awesome.
I absolutely love it, 100%.
23-19 Dominican Republic, just trying to get organized. These last 2 points, last 2 side outs that they need to win the first set. Coach Jose Gutierrez. Josue Lopez out of the timeout serving for Mexico. Wow, another beautiful swing by Henry Lopez. And he came down, might have knocked knees with the Mexican block a little bit. Looks like he's okay, and Henry Lopez will serve for the set. The Dominican Republic leads 24-19. 5 chances to get on the board here. Like the idea, the thumb up chop there on the serve, but dropped his elbow a bit too much. So now Brandon Lopez, the middle blocker, will try and produce a miracle run for Mexico. That ball is blocked by Baca. Definitely touched Cruz on its way out of bounds. First block of the set for Mexico, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right there, Rob. Looks like it.
Good move there by Baca to take the line away. A momentum builder towards the next set, maybe, but still putting Dominican Republic under a bit of pressure here to close out the set. Repeat set to Cruz, and an absolute no-doubter on the left side for number 19 in red. The Dominican Republic comes out after a day off and wins the first set 25-21.
I honestly think that might have been some of the best ball I've ever seen the Dominican Republic men's team play. That was
high praise.
That was very clean. That was dynamic. The offense was run well. It wasn't all. I mean, and I've seen Tapia pop off. I think I've seen him drop 30 before. You know, and he was like the entire team is really stepping up. Mexico's definitely. They've clearly game planned for Tapia, and they're very aware of what he's able to do when he's going to swing. But they have no answer for Cruz right now, and Lopez has been solid as well.
And like you said earlier, Francisco Arredondo gets a ton of the credit. I think he's
absolutely
the biggest difference at the setter spot
Yeah.
for the Dominican Republic. Their offense did not look good on Tuesday, and it looks excellent right now, and you really got to credit the setter for picking that up.
Overall, just really solid volleyball from the Dominican Republic here in this first set. As I look at some of these stats, only 4 errors. They did miss 5 serves, which is a little bit more, but only made 7 errors altogether, which is pretty in line with what international volleyball is played at.
Yeah, that's pretty good, clean volleyball. Their left side attack looks real good right now. We know Mexico's not a particularly physical blocking team. They're not going to get a lot of stuff blocks, but the balls that Mexico usually touches that they're able to transition aren't really happening right now. They're just having to try to make miraculous defensive plays, which they can do. But it's difficult to get legitimate swings off of those. They'd like to see them get a little bit more touches and hands in the right places on the blocking game.
Yeah, for me, Dominican has been just able to swing so clean all day. Like, time and time again, we've seen Cruz crush cross court. I mean, he's been doing pretty good. He has 5 kills so far in that first set, and just a lot of kills in that first set. 29 overall, which is really nice to see. Look at that.
Yeah, that's just a lot of offense.
Yeah,
a lot of clean offense. That's what you like to see.
Baca really came alive there at the end of the set, so hopefully he can pick it up. And I would really like to see Josu Lopez as well be more present in the offense. So let's see if Azair keeps Mendoza. No, it looks like Rangel is going to be coming out to start this set here.
I think that's the right choice.
Yeah, I think so too. He is the guy.
So could we see our first match of this tournament longer than 3 sets?
I honestly think we're about to. I really do. It looks like Sanae is starting on the bench this time, and coming in is Jorge Hernandez.
Yeah, Hernandez, number 2. Saw him a little bit there.
Only 20 years old, so another youngster here for this Mexican team.
Pretty big, though, 197 on the outside. And Dominican Republic, you would have to expect they're starting the same way, and yes, they are. So the tournament here heating up a little bit.
Yeah.
That was good volleyball that we just saw.
I really enjoyed watching that. Like,
yeah, me too.
It was really solid, and it's as I said, that was the best set of volleyball I've ever seen the Dominican Republic play, and it makes me feel good. I want to see more of it.
Me too. See if they can keep it going. See if Mexico has an answer about set number 2, about ready to go.
Like, when you look at where the women's team is for the Dominican Republic and the progress that they made and the mark that they've made on international volleyball, when you think about it, it really is incredible. And if the men's team could do the same thing too and be similar to kind of like a Cuba, where you're developing a lot of talent and you're able to play at that level, like, that would be fantastic.
Free ball chance here for Mexico to start the set. Baca one-on-one is slowed down. That's a pretty nice high shot off the fingertips of Cruz and out of bounds, and Mexico is on the board first.
And I mean, I think there's so many similarities when you look at, I mean, Dominican is basically the Cuba of the women's side.
Right.
There's so many similarities when you look at the country just in terms of geography and population and stuff like that. But I think the most important, Rob, is that they're both baseball-loving countries, and those mechanics from baseball really coincide well with volleyball.
Nice touch there, Josué Lopez underneath it. Hernandez with his first swing, and it's a good one, but a pretty good play by Mieses, the Dominican libero, to slap at it. Free ball chance, Rangel to the middle. Parra's throw is kept alive. But a deep cross-court shot over the block by Hector Cruz.
Hector Cruz, man, has just continued to impress me today. He has been really, really good. He's like swinging hard, swinging confidently. He's got different shots.
He's getting up high.
Yeah.
Not that big of a dude. What we say, 189? Wow. Oh, that ball is just out of bounds off the block of Henry Lopez. Good time to point out that there is no challenge system at this NORCECA Championship tournament, so you can't take a look at that even if you want to. So Baca will get the kill, but that was a pretty good move by Lopez. That ball unleashed by Baca, but you could tell kind of by the sound of the hand contact that it probably wasn't going to stay in bounds.
No, absolutely. And Ronnie, I know that the first option for Dominican Republic is baseball, and that's why I said it. You get some of those same athletes here, maybe the taller ones, the ones that can jump high and come on, bring it in.
That float serve from Ortiz, deceptively good.
Wow. Wow.
No
Hernandez.
deception about that. That ball is smoked down the line by Jorge Hernandez.
Nice swing there from the 20-year-old. That was beautiful.
With the speed that some of these offenses can be run, like Rangel and then Kevin Rodriguez of Puerto Rico, the speed that they're gutting that thing out to the antenna, the line is going to be open a lot. I like it when players look for the line first. What a dig by Bravo again. Lopez blocked and covered. Baca out of the back row.
Okay, Rosario.
Straight down by Luther Rosario.
Rosario has been so good throughout this match, and he has been a presence at the net that realistically right now Mexico doesn't have an answer for. That's his 5th point, 2nd block of the match.
I'm surprised to see the Dominican Republic outplaying Mexico through the middle so far.
Yeah, so am I, as Tapia rips that serve, but nicely handled by Bravo.
Another block this time by Rosario. This can only be Lopez on the left, and that is a beautiful shot. Right on the sideline is the call. Mieses disagrees. Too bad there's nothing he can do about it. Everett, I think if there were betting odds in this tournament of match most likely to include a red card, it would probably be this one.
Love it. I want to see it. Give me that fire.
Me too.
I think right now what we're seeing is a perfect example of what NORCECA volleyball is for the most part. It's very skilled. It's very fast. It's a little bit smaller, but I love watching this.
Nice scoop there. Tapia to put it away, and he does. Henry Tapia. This man has been doing it for a very long time. 31 years of age, 1.98 m. I mean, just look at him.
We need to find a list of NORCECA records, Rob. This is what we need, and I almost guarantee you that man's name is on it at least once, if not multiple times.
Lots of high-scoring tournament performances from Henry Tapia. Nice block move there, but just barely out of bounds wide off Rosario and Arredondo. Dominican is blocking the ball pretty well.
They have been. Their block has been very... This is... I'm almost convinced that, you know, Cristobal pulled some strings and was able to bring in a bunch of new guys, because this doesn't... Like, they look like the same guys, but this looks like a completely different team.
Not playing like the same team as we saw on Tuesday.
No.
Lose to Canada and not even be competitive.
And it's really too bad because, you know, obviously I think Canada would have won, both from an unbiased and biased position. However, it would have been a much better game, and I think, you know, it's important to give your best in those situations.
Oh, sure. Especially to kick off the tournament.
Rangel dishes that one outside. And
smart swing there from Baca, cross court off the block and out of bounds. Mexico gets out of rotation 1.
He leads this match so far in scoring. That's first player to break into the double digits with 10 points. 7 kills, 2 blocks, and an ace. Or sorry, 8 kills. 8 kills and 2 blocks.
Here is Josue Lopez. Like that change of pace serve a little bit. Out of system swing coming from Cruz, and high deep cross court heat. That is an insane angle to create for a 6'2" guy.
That is,
like, where do these guys come from? Seriously, we didn't see anything even close to this 2 days ago from this team.
None of it. None of it. I honestly think that they weren't told that the tournament had started and thought it was just an exhibition. You know, a bit of a shakeout before the tournament.
Well, they are engaged now. Nice block touch there. Yeah. This is pretty much a free ball. Cruz again. Tried to tip over the top of Baca. That is not happening.
He jumped a little too early on that, was just a little too eager, and you could tell he wanted to crush it as he was falling away and tried to go with the tip, but right there was Baca nicely read. Ooh, good read and good leave there by Hector Cruz.
Oh, float service errors. Everett, you know how I feel about this.
Don't make Rob angry now, guys.
Don't like missed float serves. One thing you can do to make me root against your team is miss a bunch of float serves. Here's Hector Cruz.
Nicely handled there by Lopez.
Perfect pass. And Hernandez down the line again.
There we go.
Second one of those that we've seen from him.
That's that beautifully fast Mexican offense that we see in full force. Rangel just flicks it over, and Hernandez, I mean, it was set up on a platter, and he chowed down. Now Baca back to serve. He also has Hernandez on the back of his shirt.
Luis David Baca Hernandez. Actually, pretty good synergy there by the block and the defense of Mexico. They're going to get a swing out of it, but Jorge Hernandez, a little bit underneath that ball, missed it way out of bounds. Moises Ortiz with a surprisingly effective standing float serve coming here for the Dominican Republic. 8-8 tie in the second set.
It moves so much.
It does. Oh, what a dig by Cruz down the line. Lopez sends it over. That's basically a free ball for a libero of Bravo's caliber, and now Baca's second swing is a good one. Cross court to take the lead.
I love how good both of these teams are at line defense. We've seen so many digs down that line from the right side. I mean, we saw 3 times against Tapia in the first set, another one there against Baca. I love a good line dig. Just strap it on, flick it inside, let's go.
Line digs are sweet. Ball gets on you really fast.
Oh,
it's hit Trickler.
Oh, wow.
How is that ball not down? No touch off the block. Oh,
wow.
My goodness, there is a touch off the block. That is 2 questionable calls right there.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. I'm surprised that Jorge Azera of Mexico is not losing his mind right now. I thought that ball was down, and I did not think that ball was touched. I'm surprised by both of those calls, but the scoreboard says 9-9. No challenges this week. Nice touch there against Josue Lopez. Arredondo to Tapia. Baca's there. Tapia again, a little early to that ball. Didn't have the full approach, and he missed it out of bounds.
Just more beautiful volleyball, Rob.
These are 2 really good defensive teams.
Yes, absolutely.
I wouldn't have said that about Dominican Republic 2 days ago, but they've dug a lot of balls.
I don't think I've ever said that about the Dominican Republic, except for Almonte.
Perfect pass by Henry Lopez. Give and go.
Wow.
And
That hit
4-4 slice.
That hit Lopez's foot, and Lopez is standing well within the 3-meter line. That was like, he is well within the blue on that one. That was ridiculous. Oh my goodness.
Whoa. Yeah, you get a really good look at that from our camera view baseline, just how sharp that angle was. That was sick. Wow. I didn't know he had that. What a move by Bravo to pass that ball. Baca slowed down. Henry Lopez is there. Great looking transition. Cruz for the lead, and that ball is spatched. See ya.
That was definitely a phaser. That was a phaser for sure. Azair caught it nicely as Rangel now heads back to serve.
Good block touch there. Stabbed that by Lopez. Baca for the lead. To extend the lead anyway. Mexico looking for a net violation.
Oh, what a block.
They don't get it, but they do get the block by Josue Lopez, closing the line on Tapia, and now Jorge Azera is getting animated.
I have to say he's looking pretty good right now, rocking those Adidas Gazelles.
He is looking good. I like the green polo, too.
Yeah, me too.
Green's a great color, underrepresented in the NORCECA zone.
Oh, good
Back
run.
one run. Look at that.
There we
Rosario.
go. I'd love to see the Mexican volleyball team follow what the Mexican soccer team does with like the dark forest green sometimes. I think that would be phenomenal.
I do really like it when a country just has like a unified look across the board, across all sports. Like Argentina certainly comes to mind. Big time block there. Cruz and Ortiz all over Josue Lopez, and we are tied.
The Dominican block has been so solid all afternoon long, and it's truly been impressive. I mean, they have 4 blocks on the afternoon in points, but so many more times, like they're getting so many more hands on balls than Mexico is, and they're just really slowing down the offense in that way. That was a good. You know, it's funny. Whereas these two teams are very different in ways. Like the blocking for Dominican has been fantastic, but past that, they don't make too many digs. Whereas on the other side, the blocking for Mexico hasn't really been there, but they make a lot of digs. And Lopez is known to be able to pin it from the baseline here. As Mexico leads by 1, and he pinned that one right into the net.
Francisco Arredondo, number 14 in red, 26 years of age, 1'87". The setter for the Dominican Republic. I think a big reason for their turnaround so far today, serving, and can't stop that. Nice wrist away action from Brandon Lopez against his body's momentum.
Very interesting movement by Bravo there on serve receive. As Arredondo tosses that, he moves in and basically was standing right where Arredondo was serving that ball. That tells me these guys are locked in with their video.
Tipped over the top. Baca, a standing block move there, sends it back. And that ball put away nicely by Tapia, getting his feet to the ball. And look at Jorge Azer. He is telling his blockers, you see how far inside the antenna that set is? Move the block inside, and he is correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't give Tapia that angle.
We know that Tapia likes to hit down the line, but that's mainly from the right side. I'm not entirely sure he has that line shot from the left.
I certainly haven't seen it.
Oh, Baca.
Baca get the fingertips there. I thought he might have. He thought the same, but no touch call. Dominican Republic takes the lead.
And, you know, I think this is a time that we're going to see Arredondo start going to Tapia much more. Cruz is starting to show some signs of fatigue, and it makes sense. Like, he plays a very dynamic game, and he's had a lot of swings early on, like in the first half of this match, basically. So I think now that it's opened up and Mexico is really keyed in on Cruz, that's where we're going to see Arredondo start to go to Tapia a little bit more.
It's funny because, yeah, certainly the scouting report in Dominican Republic coming into the tournament was that Tapia was the guy scoring-wise, but he's been the third option as far as the wings go. It's all been Cruz and Lopez, but that allows you to save Tapia for the second part of the match, where he really thrives there. When
you look at how their offense has really spread out throughout this match so far, it's been really impressive. All 3 outsides are involved. Rosario there. Ortiz gets a shot in too. It's been a really run offense by Arredondo,
yes, it does.
They've been executing well as well.
I had a comment earlier that number 18, Ortiz for Dominican Republic, looks like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Must be the glasses, like the rec spec goggles there.
I mean, actually, he's not long. He's not.
Yeah,
long
he actually does kind of look like
when I think what, or is he talking about like? I guess did Kareem wear the goggles?
I think he did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I thought he might get away with that one.
Me too. I thought that one might dribble off the net as the Dominican Republic continues to hold the slight advantage.
Almost the dreaded tape dribbler. And now the backup setter, J.J. Hernandez, comes in again as a service substitute.
I do hope, Rob, just for the sake of changing things up, that we're on our way for our first 1-1 score here.
I hope so, too.
Just to see a little bit more volleyball.
Baca is dug nicely cross court, but a net violation by the Dominican block negates the transition opportunity, and we're tied at 16. Service substitution undone on the Dominican Republic side. Jorge Hernandez back to serve for Mexico. Perfect pass by Mieses as usual, and high off the hands of Rangel and out of bounds goes Henry Lopez.
Lopez is another guy who's small out there, but has a heavy, fast swing. Once again, he's these baseball arms. Baseball arms, man. Japan, good at volleyball. Cuba, good at volleyball.
Wonder if there's something to that. What a serve by Henry Tapia.
He needs a nickname. He needs a nickname. You know Spanish better than I do, so I think we need to give him a nickname.
Okay.
Dominican fans in the chat,
yeah.
maybe if he does have a nickname in your country, let us know.
Yeah,
first and foremost.
Spanish speakers in the chat, if Henry Tapia has a nickname.
We don't want to colonize his nickname over here.
Let's see if he can do it again.
Wow. Another good one.
2 in a row, sure enough. Right on cue, Dominican Republic separating on the big right shoulder of number 1 in red. And a substitution for Mexico. Yasutaka Sanai returns it outside hitter after Josue Lopez just got ace twice in a row. Tapia for the rare 3 aces in a row. Can he do it? No, chop serve. That's basically a free ball. And punished by Victor Parra in the middle. But a good run there for the Dominican Republic to separate. It is 19-17.
Tapia's been the best scorer for the past 2 NORCECA championships.
19 and 21.
Yep. That just says, and he was the best opposite at the Central and Caribbean games this year, best scorer at last year's Final 6, best opposite of the Pan Am Cup in 2021, as well as being the best scorer. He has just a litany of NORCECA awards.
That is a very bad service error there by Luis Sanchez off the bench.
He's 0 for 2 so far in this tournament coming off the bench.
That's not good.
No.
Serving 17. Henry Lopez with the Dominican Republic staring down a 2-0 lead. Wow. Sanai out of absolutely nowhere explodes down the line. There was not very much space there.
That's really when the only way that Mexico's been effective offensively there in first ball side out is getting it to the pin and swinging it down the line.
Baca slaps that one back. Cruz with a second swing finds a tiny sliver of space inside the triple block and puts it down. Ooh, somebody in the chat says El Matador.
El Matador.
For Tapia. I don't know if you came up with that, Jonathan Hernandez, but I really like that.
That's exactly the essence I was looking for.
That's the vibe. Or El Vaquero, the cowboy. That could be good too.
Ooh. I like El Matador.
I like that too. We might have to go with that. Here is Bismael Almonte, who served really well. Got a couple points in a row in the first set. Easy one there, working on Sanai. Baca somehow dug by Henry Lopez. Tapia is blocked straight down. That's Chavez, a middle blocker substitution there for Mexico, number 16 with the stuff block.
That's too bad there for Tapia. I saw that ball going up, and I honestly thought he was going to be scoring that. That was a beautiful dig from Lopez in the back row as well. The Dominican Republic's defense has been fairly solid this afternoon.
Chop serve there by Sanai, handled nicely. Cruz, deep cross court, looking for a touch. Doesn't get it. 1 point game, 20 serving 21.
A much better formed block there by Mexico.
Definitely.
Forces Dominican Republic there to call a timeout, and Cruz has been doing really good at finding openings so far today, and he's barely been touched.
I'd like to see him hit one down the line.
Yeah,
I think there was line to swing at there, and chose to try and challenge the far sideline.
I'd like to see him swing one down the line, and I'd like to see him try to hit high off hands, right? Try to do something where he's challenging the block as opposed to going around it. So far, he's been doing really well at going around it. So we see the teams come back here as
scoreboard at the scores table says 28-21. Something doesn't tell me that's right.
That's legit. That's legit. Don't worry. It's old school NCAA back when the men played to 30.
Oh, wow. Those are the good old days. Here is Sanai. big serve here and kind of a big moment in this match.
Just chops it in.
Oh, a wide open net hitting error by Henry Lopez. The Red Sea parted of the Mexican block, and he hit that big ball straight out of bounds. That is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah, more of like a green sea there, Rob, but I know what you mean.
Tie game, 21-all. Look
Okay,
at that
Ortiz.
extension from Moises Ortiz.
Wait, good job for Arredondo to have the confidence in the youngster and going to him at this juncture of the set. That's huge. That says just how much confidence this setter has in his team, and he's able to instill it. That's great news for Dominican Republic.
Middle blocker is not a spot where we usually see really, really young kids doing well. That is a hard position. It takes years to learn. Dominican Republic winning in that positional battle right now, and that ball by Hernandez hit out of bounds, no touch. Big break point for the Dominican Republic, 23-21.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge, and for me it's been Mexico's inability to score really on the left side all afternoon or all evening. That's really hurt them so far. I mean, Lopez only has 5 points. One of those is a block. Hernandez has 2. Sané has 2. Just not producing that much over on the left side of the court, and it's really hurting them. Whereas on the other side, so much of that offense is coming through Cruz, is coming through Lopez, and it's really opening things up.
Credit to the Dominican Republic's block defense as well. You can tell I think both of these teams, like Ronnie, our Cuban buddy, said in the chat earlier, they played each other with these exact same 2 rosters earlier this summer. These teams are well prepared, well educated. You can tell they did their film study yesterday. And Dominican Republic as well had a day off, whereas Mexico played yesterday. Could that be a factor? 23-21, Mexico needs perfect side out from here on out. Baca down the line, missed it, out of bounds. Little too much wrist away action, slightly underneath that ball. And now set point for the Dominican Republic on a 3-0 run. Arredondo pops in a float serve. Baca is blocked. And Hector Cruz wins the set for the Dominican Republic in style. A solo shutdown of Luis Baca, and the Dominican Republic leads 2-0.
That is a flex on a moment to end a set if I've ever seen one. Hector Cruz just absolutely shutting down Baca for the one-on-one. Like, he just big manned him. He really just like, whew.
What a turnaround from 48 hours ago for the Dominican Republic. They looked like they were still asleep, getting smacked by Canada 3-0 to start the tournament. And now they are completely in command of this game versus a good Mexican team.
Yeah, just looking at some of the results from this year, these 2 teams have only played each other once, and like Ronnie said, Dominican beating Mexico 3-1 at the Central American and Caribbean Games.
Back in late June, looks like.
Yeah, is that event that Cuba went to during in the middle of Vienna that we keep clowning them for.
For good reason.
But, you know, this Dominican Republic team, when you look at, I mean.
Yeah, so what? So that looks like Mexico.
Yeah,
well, what's the Dominican Republic been up to this year? Because we saw them play the FIVB Challenger Cup. They lost in the first round to Turkey, 3-1, who went on to win the tournament.
It looks like they, at the Pan Am Cup this year, they went 0 for 4.
Ooh, not great. That's the one that Canada won, right?
That is the one that Canada won. Lost to Brazil, Canada, Cuba, and Puerto Rico. At the Challenger Cup, which they went this year, they lost to Turkey in the first round. And then at the Central American and Caribbean Games, let's see, they lost to Cuba in what I'm pretty sure was the finals.
Had to have been the final.
Yeah, beat Puerto Rico in the semis. Beat Suriname, lost to Cuba, beat Mexico
in pool play. Okay, yeah. That's about where I would place the Dominican Republic in the world right now. They should be. I mean, clearly there's 3 teams at this tournament. It's the 3 VNL teams: the United States, Cuba, and Canada in no particular order. That will almost definitely be the podium. Certainly those will be the 3 favorites to get medals. But
let's not jinx anything
but that 4th team is really kind of up in the air. Could be Dominican Republic, could be Mexico, could be a very young Puerto Rican team that we saw get their first win earlier today. It's
maybe it could be Suriname.
Maybe
they could turn it on and right the right. Well, actually, no, it couldn't be. They can't. They're playing for 6th or 7th.
For 6th, unfortunately.
But everyone else is still in the race.
Yeah, I'm impressed by the Dominican Republic team. Let's look at some numbers. 27 for 61 in total on offense for Dominican Republic, 11 errors. It seems to me like their numbers are better than that. I'm a little surprised.
But that's 11 errors in 2 sets. That's not bad at all.
That's not bad. Blocked 5 times, 5 blocks for each team. Much better serving from the Dominican Republic. 2 aces, 6 errors. Mexico 0 aces, 9 errors. That is a big difference.
To me, when I look at the stat sheet, it's very telling that you have 1 Mexican and then followed by 4 Dominican guys. And I mean, everyone is really chipping in. Cruz has been fantastic, but Lopez is good, and Tapia's been heating up. Rosario's been solid in the middle. It's just been a full team thing so far. Whereas as we talked about at the end of that set, it's really been the left side struggles for Mexico.
It's been a revolving door.
It's been a revolving door, and so this time they're starting with Sanay and Hernandez. Lopez will be on the bench, basically starting the same way that they finished that last set, as well with. Oh, that's 16. Miguel Chavez.
Chavez, a new middle blocker. That's what I was about to say, that I'm surprised Mexico's getting beaten in the middle blocker battle. Good dig there against Ortiz. 1-on-1 for Baca. Really nice set by Pedro Rangel as usual. Had Ortiz, the opposing middle, nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and that was one of the first times that Ortiz was dug, as there was actually a really good connection by Arredondo.
True.
And the young teenager, but Bravo was up to the task with the scoop.
Everett, why does the Dominican Republic keep starting in rotation 1?
I'm guessing that they. Oh my goodness! Ortiz cross body. Let's go.
I didn't know he had that.
Wow, me neither. That looked casual.
Whoa. I did not know he had that. I mean, what is this kid on the roster? Didn't we say like 202? Yeah, 204. I think he's bigger than that.
Okay, Ortiz Landy, let's go.
Oh, don't be giving him that. It's, no 19-year-old ever deserves that suffix. Nice run there, Sanay. That ball's in. Very nicely done.
That's good, and we haven't really seen the pipe that much from Mexico this afternoon. They have to start releasing that.
I would like to see it more. Another way to get their outside hitters more involved in different phases of the offense. Here is Chavez, the middle blocker, who's we've seen just a little bit. Lopez finds some space down the line, hangs in the air, takes a look, and hits the shot.
Love that shot. That was good awareness. It was a well-formed block in front of him. Just was a little patient, was able to put it down the line.
Here's Ortiz with a deceptively good serve. Oh, look at that thing move.
That thing wiggles.
Ace serve, Moises Ortiz.
Give him a TV show and call him the Wiggles. That thing moves, and with the
little celebration afterwards. I like this kid.
Oh, man, that was sassy. I like that.
Frankie Milantini, number 48 in black, comes in, an outside hitter for Mexico. The revolving door continues to spin at that position.
48 is up there with the most random of volleyball numbers.
It's pretty weird, just as random as Eric Lepke wearing 80.
Jerry Rice, baby, Jerry Rice.
Ortiz again. You gotta go right after Milantini, who just came in off the bench, don't you?
Oh yeah, you do. Except when you put it in the net.
Man, that is one of the nastier float serves I've seen in a while. That thing is dancing all over the place. And Baca returns the favor with a service error from Mexico.
Mexico needs to, they need to go on a bit of a run, whether it's from their blocking, whether it's from a few plays from defense, but they're just lacking that extra Mexico-ness.
Yes,
you know?
Yes, that's right. They're kind of stuck in neutral right now, it feels like. That ball is just out of bounds by Tapia.
And especially since this is a team that they've lost to already this summer, I would suspect that they'd want to jump out here and really kind of take it to them and think that they owed them one.
Look at that screen from Mexico trying to stack everybody on their right sideline, take away some sight lines. Didn't
Good
matter though
pass,
there.
though.
Ooh, a one-handed ball from Arredondo. Pretty good chance. Milantini's first swing is a big-time stuff block, but Baca is there in coverage. And a good call. I think that ball did go outside the antenna, or maybe directly over the top of it, but still a correct call out of bounds.
Just all of a sudden now, there just seems to be some misdirection and some confusion on the Mexican side of the court, where they're just not taking care of the details as they usually are.
Also, just noticing, this is the only match we only have 2 line judges. We've had 4 most of the tournament. That's interesting.
Oh. Okay. Weird.
I like that chop serve from Lopez. Para on the give and go is kept alive. What can Cruz do with it? Oh, Rangel.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my
Tapia is able to
goodness.
send that over. And right on top of the net, put down by Hector Cruz. What a scramble.
That just shows me how much Dominican is here to play, right? They are here to grind out every point, and that was, I thought it was done. You thought it was done. Everyone in this gym thought it was done, except for those wearing those beautiful red and blue jerseys.
That was wild. Beautiful pass. What a dig by Mieses. Chop shot over the block. Hector Cruz and the Dominican Republic are firing right now.
This is just this is easily the best volleyball I've ever seen the Dominican Republic play.
This is like legitimately really high level. And Mexico is a good team, and they are prepared for the matchup and taking it to them right now. Easy serve. Wow,
there
that's
we go.
an incredible angle by Baca, especially out of the back row, having a broad jump that far.
That's what Mexico needs right now. That's what they need right in this moment to really get back into this game, because, I mean, they're on the ropes here. They're down 0-2, down by 2. They need to start making some plays.
Who's going to be that guy? Really good pass. Pedro Rangel. Shut down.
I mean,
maybe it's the Mexican setter who can turn things around.
I mean, he is a legend, right? He is my OG NORCECA gem.
NORCECA gem. He's 34. He's been doing it for a long time.
That one just long there by Para.
Actually, it was closer than I thought it was going to be. Luther Rosario, part of a really good-looking young middle blocker core for the Dominican Republic. Good float serve as well. Nice touch. This is a free ball chance here. Arredondo to Tapia. Somehow scooped. Pretty good play. Milantini through the block. Ortiz couldn't quite get all the way over to close it.
These are the type of plays that Mexico needs right now to build some momentum. We've seen it in spurts. We've seen it a few times, but this is right now. It's basically now or never.
That looked a little weird. It is still alive. Back to the Dominican side. That ball just barely out of bounds. Cruz looking for the ultimate deep corner shot, but I think that ball was wide. Good call right at the line judge's feet, and we are tied up at 8.
Yeah, that was a close one by Cruz. He was looking for hands, unable to find any. But just like that, we're all tied up at 8, and with Rangel back at the baseline, he's going to go with the float. Oh, that's out as well.
Just barely out as well from Tapia.
Yeah, we have a perfect look at that ball down there, and it's interesting because earlier in the match they were giving Tapia a lot of line and double covering him on that line shot. Now they're giving him no line, and it's almost like they're baiting him to swing line and then taking away the space.
Good adjustment for Mexico. They take the lead. Arredondo initiates the joust. Easy chance here now for Mexico. Milantini is stuffed straight down. That is blocked by Arredondo off of Milantini and out. Tie game 9-9. Huge move by the Dominican setter.
it's these moments like this that Mexico isn't capitalizing on.
Exactly.
That's really hurting them in the long term. That was an opportunity to go up by 2, which I don't think they've really done so far in this match, and to really start pulling away at an important juncture. Now we're all tied up at 9.
Rotation 1 receive here for Mexico. Baca thumped down the line. Look out below is right. Our friend Rob Aspero on the mic in the house.
Melanti now back to serve with Hernandez, and I mean, we've literally seen the entire stable here for Mexico.
Everybody. 3 middles, 4 outsides, 2 setters.
Oh.
That one never really had a chance.
That was out on a 9-man court. Actually, I wonder who won the major. The 9-man major was this past weekend.
No clue.
We'll have to ask Coach Johnny. He was there.
Hector Cruz playing with a ton of confidence right now.
Good pass by Hernandez, right on the money.
Ooh, a little misconnection there in the middle. Lopez to make him pay, and he does. High flat through the block and out of bounds.
That was just such a nice swing by Lopez. Off the block, or like off the net, swinging at the hands.
More lack of productivity, though, from the Mexican middle position. Chavez only got fingertips on that one. Another stuff block.
Okay.
Henry Lopez shuts down Baca.
And just like that, Dominican Republic, they were trailing by 1 just a few points ago.
And I was about to say that ball was set low, tight, and inside. And sure enough, we have a setter change with Edgar Mendoza.
8 blocks so far for the Dominican Republic in just like 2 sets and a third.
That is impressive. And after that substitution, we also have a Mexican timeout. All the momentum in the world on the Dominican Republic side right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Dominican Republic just leading in all categories. They've got more kills. They've got less errors. They got more blocks. They have more aces.
Way less service errors.
Way less service errors. So they've really been out here to play. And you know what? I was thinking earlier in my head that I think Suriname can beat Dominican Republic.
Not this Dominican Republic.
Not this Dominican Republic. They, I think I almost want to take back everything I've said. We haven't really said anything bad about the Dominican coach, you know.
His comments before the tournament were interesting, and the way they played on Tuesday was not good.
No.
But they certainly have responded. Hector Cruz out of the timeout. If they go on a run right here, this match just might be over.
Another good pass, though, from Hernandez.
And quick ball to the middle.
Chavez really was on time there. He was waiting for that ball from Mendoza, and you could tell he was doing everything in his power to get that point. That is a good reset there from Mexico as Chavez heads back to serve and Parra is back in. Oh, there was another substitution. Oh, no, never mind.
Tapia wins the joust. Decent chance here. Hernandez,
what a scoop.
Mieses is underneath it. Cruz takes a swing. Now Mexico is scrambling. This will be a free ball. Ortiz dug again. Oh, a little flying jump bump thing. Now a free ball for Mexico. Hernandez through the block, ties us up at 12. Great rally there.
That's a fantastic answer from Mexico to bring us to be all tied up. Just some great defense, and especially without Bravo on the floor. That's twice now that Ortiz has been dug. I think it's really one of those things that his angles are different than anyone else, but he's not hitting the ball that hard to really make you move, as that's a big block there by Parra. And just like that, Mexico takes the lead once again.
Not the most physically imposing block of all time, just shutting down the roll shot off the tape, but it does score. Tapia straight over the top. Hernandez jumped maybe a little bit early. Tapia kept climbing the ladder, even at age 31.
I thought we said 34.
I think Rangel is 34.
Rangel's 34, you're right.
Tapia 31.
Tapia 31, okay.
And Ortiz here, 19. Crazy. Ooh, Baca way outside the sideline there. Great swing chance here for the Dominican Republic for the lead. High, flat, and covered. Tapia.
Oh, what a scoop. Get there.
Excellent
Nice.
run down. Free ball. Pipe combination to Hector Cruz. What a great setting sequence by Francisco Arredondo. Gorgeous good.
Great volleyball.
That scoop by Bravo on Tapia was sick, by the way. You're right. They are baiting him to hit it down the line.
They really are. But, man, we haven't seen Cruz unload on one in a bit, and I thought some fatigue was setting in, but I think he recovered a little bit because he killed that one.
Another good float serve from Ortiz. Dug again. Chance in transition. Henry Lopez through the block and down. Dominican Republic is fired up.
I'm really liking Lopez. On that one, he goes, and you can see he pauses. His swing is so fast, and he has such a good wrist snap that he's able to go up, look, see the block, and chisel it on the inside. That is such a high-level shot.
And another outside hitter substitution for Mexico. Josue Lopez returns. It's got to be so hard to get rhythm or get confidence at that spot when you know your leash is that short.
But really, realistically, no one has performed yet.
No, they haven't.
At a certain point, it's,
You got to get production from somewhere. Ortiz with the float serve again.
Oh, nice, there we go. Pedro Rangel. Oh, no, wait, that was Mendoza.
Mendoza one-handed and pounded to the floor by Victor Parra. Nice play. Wow.
Okay, Rosario.
Man, the Dominican middle showing range. They've been both going both ways. It takes a while to develop that cross-body shot in the middle.
Absolutely. He had the patience for it to come over to his left shoulder and bounce it to one.
Oops. Tapia not happy with himself from that serve. Perfect pass as usual. Lopez again, dude, you're not kidding. His arm is fast enough and he jumps high enough to jump, look, wait, and then release that arm.
He's just another solid piece to what is to me a very surprising Dominican team. It's been very pleasantly surprising to watch them just kind of dominate so far.
Outside hitter duo has been around a bit. Henry Lopez 28, Hector Cruz 29. Another one-handed set from Mendoza to Parra.
And Mexico just staying 1 point away here. And as long as they can stay within striking distance, this game is not over.
Definitely not.
Yeah, it's outy though.
Too many service errors for Mexico without getting any return in aces. 0 aces to 13 service errors.
That is really un-Mexican.
Very much so.
When it comes to their men's volleyball teams. In general, it has been a weird afternoon for me watching this Mexican team because it's not what I recognize. As Monte has come back into serve, we saw him come in the first set.
Look at that one move sideways. Forces the overpass. Great chance. Lopez out of
home.
the back row. What a play by Bravo. Milantoni through the block somehow of Arredondo, and Mexico gets away with it. Another amazing play by the Mexican libero.
Yeah, absolutely. And He's made a few plays like that this afternoon, and I'm assuming we're going to see him do that all tournament long. Oh, good dig again.
Wow, look how clean that ball came out of his hands.
Okay.
What a shutdown block from Ortiz.
Ortiz, that is his 6th point of the day in his first block.
And another outside hitter substitution for Mexico. This is crazy.
Yeah, at this point, as
it's just too much.
Is using this like practice. He's looking like the U.S. women's team out here.
Ouch.
Sorry.
that one cut a little deep. Not a good set at all. Way too far inside, and Tapia is all over it.
And Mexico's just been unable to create any consistency, create any momentum tonight. It's every single time they do something well, as Isaiah calls a timeout, every time they do something well, they make a nice play, and they put themselves in a position to start going, the Dominican Republic answers, and they let them back in. It just has not been a decisive game whatsoever for Mexico.
Or Mexico makes a good play and misses a serve to stop their momentum. There's been a little too much of that as well. Timeout, Mexico 17-20. Dominican Republic looking for a sweep. They would then set up a date with Puerto Rico tomorrow in the quarterfinals. That's what awaits the winner of this match. That's more like it.
Great answer. Great answer there by Mexico. But now they need to make something happen now. Sané needs to put in a tough serve here, and their block needs to be ready to be able to form their defense around.
Baca gets Mexico out of rotation, one right there. Now Sanai.
Oh, Tapia, what a dig.
What a scoop.
Can he save it?
That is a net touch by Mexico, I believe. Oh, Azer disagrees. He says that net touch occurred outside the antenna. However, yesterday we saw Stephen Marr literally hold him up on the net.
He was doing chin-ups on the thing.
But because he was touching it outside the antenna, it was legal. That point is going to stay with the Dominican Republic, but Mexico disagrees.
That's a tough one to swallow there for Mexico.
The ball might have been on its way out of bounds, but definitely touched by Arredondo.
I thought it was touched off the block as well, too.
Could have been. Mexico needs a break point.
They need, yeah.
Dominican Republic can side out 4 times, and this match is theirs.
Okay, and
what happened there?
Dominican trying to call a timeout. I believe it was too late. And that to me seems to be some trickery from the Dominican coach.
I'm not sure why they would even want to call timeout here.
Well, that's why I think it was that type of confusion, that he just wanted to ice the server a little bit longer.
Good play there by Mendoza. Crucial swing for Baca here. Missed out of bounds, no touch.
And Azair can only hang his head as the frustration shows from Mexico. As we've talked about it, winning this match is so crucial to put themselves in a spot to get into the semifinals. The loser of this match will have to go on and play the loser of tonight's USA versus Cuba matchup, which no one wants. No one in the tournament outside of maybe Canada wants to be playing the winners of that matchup.
Well, certainly you don't want to be playing them on Friday. Like, maybe you want to play them in the semis or the final, but you do not want to play the United States or Cuba on a quarterfinal day. That's a good swing by Baca. Nice dynamic arm angle against a one-on-one.
Yeah, now he has back to serve. So he has hands down been the most effective Mexican player tonight, leading this match with 19 points. He has no aces yet. So this is his shot to maybe pad his stats a little bit, but also get his team into this game.
This is it. This is the moment for Mexico right here. They've got to have a run really in this rotation.
Okay, at least it's over. Wow, Henry Tapia.
What did he do with his arm there? It was somehow able to get outside of it.
Yeah.
And, okay, he's holding his back as he comes down. That was a very physically demanding swing.
I mean, with a back like that, come on. Might as well call him Atlas. Dude could hold up the world. Now Henry Tapia, the captain, one of the few captains to have the bar also on the back of his jersey.
Yeah.
Right. Mostly you just mostly they just put it on the front, but he's got it front and the back. We want everyone to know that he's El Capitano, El Matador.
El Matador. 2 points away, the Dominican Republic. This could be a huge
good
serve.
Rip. Wow, and that's out of bounds.
Sure
Look
enough.
at that. And we have match point, and Rob, neither of us picked this.
No.
Neither of us picked this, but the Dominican Republic surely deserve it and have earned it tonight.
Match point number 1, Henry Tapia at 24-20 to send the Dominican Republic into the quarterfinals in second. Just out of bounds, not by much.
I really wanted the Mexican libero, looked at him and waved his arms at him.
Give it to me.
And I really wanted him to serve at the Mexican libero. If he would have been, that would have been such good video. I was recording it, and had the Mexican libero called him on him, then Tapia aced him. That would have been a legendary video.
That would have been an all-time clip. Timeout Dominican Republic, just trying to ice the server, I suppose. But Mexico needs 3 straight points out of this timeout.
It's not out of the question that Mexico would come back here.
We played at 25, not 24. But Dominican Republic in control, and they've been so impressed with their side-out offense that you would think that they can probably get one side out in the next 3 tries.
The 3 dong NORCECA, it's on.
Yep, the dong days of summer have continued.
The dong days of
NORCECA Championship
NORCECA have continued here.
0 aces to 13 service errors for Mexico. Match point Dominican Republic, rotation 4 receive. Arredondo is in the front court. Hernandez to keep it alive. Lopez, Arredondo, Lopez cross court, and it is over. The Dominican Republic very impressively respond, and they defeat Mexico 3 sets to none. 25-21, 25-21, 25-21. Wow, the consistency of this Dominican performance even appears on the scoreboard. Congratulations to Henry Tapia and this Dominican Republic team. That was impressive.
That was the best volleyball I've ever seen Dominican's men's team play, without a doubt. Look at that. Baca led the game with 20, and then it's just 5 Dominican hitters out there. And I mean, it was a revolving door for Mexico. They got every single one of their I mean, literally, they have almost their entire team scored a point in this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different point scores in this game. So just no consistency for Mexico today, whereas Dominican was very, very good. They were fantastic.
I'm impressed.
Do we think that any of the Dominican players speak English, or maybe the coach? Do we want to go try this to test this out?
Doesn't hurt to go and ask. Anybody in the chat who supports the Dominican Republic, do you happen to know if any of their players would be comfortable enough in English to do an interview with us? If so, that would be great. We would love to hear from one of them. If not, that's okay. But regardless, we'll try to get an interview. But even if not, we will be back in just over an hour for the match of the tournament so far. I see them walking in, Everett. Team USA will take on Cuba.
Do you want to go see if Dominican can do it?
Yes, I will.
I'll keep this going for the time being. Maybe start with, I don't know. I'll leave it up to you to decide. But once again, I have to say that was a massive performance by the Dominican Republic. I was not expecting that whatsoever. That was some very, very good volleyball to watch. And it was great. We'll see now if any of the Dominican players speak enough English to come on to the post game. And as I see the Mexican coaches just discussing right now, as they're clearly a little bit upset after that match, as Team USA is taking the court We're about just over an hour away from their matchup with Cuba. As Rob is heading over. Oh, never mind. He got stopped by Spraw. So let's see here. I don't have much. I think he's getting distracted by the sparkliness of John Spraw. Oh. If I were a betting man right now, I would bet that we are not going to be getting anyone from the Dominican Republic, as I just watched them all walk by Rob. We're going to need Robbie Cuban Spike or someone. He's saying no. I don't think he even asked. I don't think he. Yeah, stop that camera. Yeah, stop it. Yeah, good job. Okay. He's taking his sweet time. Oh, of course, now he has to talk to Javier Weber, and now he's going to walk back as we wait for Mr. St. Clair to wrap this up. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting anyone from the Dominican Republic to wrap this up, but that's fine. Apparently, this setter can speak English. Apparently the setter can speak English. He went to Grandview University.
Yeah, played a little NAIA. Yeah, the Dominican guys got out of here pretty quick. They didn't show a lot of interest as I was putting out some feelers, even in Spanish, because I'm able to ask, like, hello, good game. Are you willing to do an interview in English? I can ask them that in Spanish, and nobody really bit, but that's okay. Very impressive game by the Dominican Republic. I mean, I talked to John Spraw, head coach of the USA, just now. I said, Dominican won, they look really good. He's like, what? Are you serious? He couldn't believe the turnaround. Neither could we. I was very impressed.
They looked really, really good today. As I said, the best volleyball I've ever seen from the Dominican men's team. So
I agree. That's not an overstatement.
No, that was really, really good ball, and it's really a shame that they didn't play better against Canada like that on Tuesday. I wanted to see, I would have loved to see them kind of step up in that way, for sure.
But congratulations to the Dominican Republic. So what we know now is that the Dominican Republic will take on Puerto Rico tomorrow. We don't know what time yet. We also know that Mexico will take on the loser of this match. The United States versus Cuba coming up next. Group A is done. Group B will be done in just a couple hours. Come back 1 hour from now, 7:30 p.m. local. The United States versus Cuba will be the match of the tournament so far.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you in 1 hour. Peace. Got it. Can we mute it too? Can we mute it? Mute it? Oh, okay, so it's muted?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just asking if it was muted.